Hello and welcome back to Statistically Improbable Productions, aka my excuse to hang out with my friends. Last we left off. Um, where did we leave off? Who wants to take on the recap? Anyone?
I wasn't here for it, so I am zero help.
It looks like it's up to Max again.
Okay. I remember we killed the worms. I got hurt bad. Wynn got dropped off and dashed off at the hospital by Hell, and we killed the worms.
You mentioned that part. Yeah, so essentially you guys had your climactic battle within the science center. John had picked up some notes, some folders, as well as a hard drive from one of the computers. Wynn, who had in the first episode stolen a journal, got whisked away from the conflict by Hell, and I believe we stated had been dropped off at a hospital, which we'll get to in a moment. Max, you were severely hurt in the conflicts, and I believe you came very close to death.
Yes. I did come close to death, and even closer to death because of a failed divine lay on hands or whatever from
Yeah.
Hell.
Yeah, so she tried to reach out and heal you, but it backfired and was unsuccessful. You guys put one of the scientists to sleep, made the other one stand guard for an indeterminate amount of time, and put the police officer to sleep as well after stealing his firearm.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And put the director to sleep.
Yeah, just straight out murdered the director.
I wouldn't say straight up murdered.
She's sleeping.
Wait, when you're saying to sleep, you mean death?
No, like sleep.
No, dead. The director is dead.
Oh.
The one in the locker? That's the director?
The police officer you shoved in a locker. The director was shoved into the locker room, who was then quickly dispatched by the worm.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's right. I'm just a police officer right now.
Yeah. So that all happened. John managed to MacGyver a device that negated the worm's lightning attack, which
the lightning rod, yeah.
saved you guys from taking a lot of damage. And then Hell and Max managed to team up on the last worm and dispatch it quickly. And that's where we sort of left things off. And I think we'll pick up what would have been probably, and I'm guessing an hour or so prior to the end of the last session, with Wynn, who had been Was that... I believe that might have been your first time taken through one of Hell's portals.
Yeah, I think so.
You were... You had taken a lot... you had severe acid burns on your back.
Yeah.
When Hell grabbed you and said... told you to hold on. And suddenly, as you were dealing with the pain, you are ripped through time and space, through a gaping hole in the ground, and appear again in an alley. I'd say at this period, things probably went by really quick as Hell, as most of your focus would have been on your burns, and Hell guides you into the hospital, and you would have seen her speaking to someone. She gestures over to you, talks to them a little more, then comes back to you and tells you, you're gonna be okay, they're gonna take care of you. But I have to go make sure everyone else is okay.
Cool.
And then once the nurses there come to look at you, that's when Hal would have taken off. But you are currently in the hospital. Nurses are like asking you like your name, what happened, and it's up to you how much information you actually give them.
Okay. My name is Wynn. I had a really clumsy accident and spilled some highly chemical cleaner at work. And I'm just not feeling good right now. I need some help. And I'm gonna kind of like be like very like shy-ish and like kind of like not really giving much more. I'm gonna play into the fact my injuries are making it hard for me to give info.
And they do take that into account as they take you over to a bed and help you lie down and start bandaging your wounds.
I'm gonna let them do their thing, but I'm gonna hold on to my bag the whole time while they're doing this.
Let me just switch over to the map here. Okay, yeah, you've already moved yourself over.
On top of it. So do I understand, like, what, like, am I coherent enough to understand, like, what happened there with the fact that I got transported and that, like, that was the deal?
I'd say you would be a little bit. I'd say, at the time, you still had, like, adrenaline going through your system, so you weren't actually too aware of your injuries.
Okay.
But now that the adrenaline's wearing off, like, the shock is basically starting to set in.
Mm-hmm.
So you're probably just going with the flow at the point in time, but now things would probably start to be hitting you, just like, what just happened? The realization,
yeah,
like,
I'm freaking
that-
out a little on the inside.
yeah, like that was not a normal experience.
No. Because of them treating my wounds, do I get to remove my unstable and my harm thing?
Yes. Now that you're getting actual medical attention, you won't be considered unstable. You'll be at the They'll have to monitor you for a little bit, but
Okay.
your wounds are no longer considered unstable, and you are getting proper medical care.
Yay.
And while that's happening, speaking of getting proper medical care, Max,
Mm-hmm.
you are also not doing too hot. Let's just switch over back to where we left. Well, that zoomed if it didn't work. Apparently the zoom doesn't actually work on everything, but you guys had just defeated the worm, which I will get rid of there. Hell's pager had gone off, and she had looked at it for a moment, and you see her eyes go wide, and she just looks at you guys and says, "I gotta go." And she bamps out. So now it is John and Max left in the Science Center.
Hey Max, you don't look so hot right now.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel bad, but nothing's really happening now. But we should probably sneak out of here.
Yeah, I think we've done what we set out to do, so let's
Sneak out the back.
get going.
So you guys promptly exit the back door that I forgot to include in this map of the Science Center. And head back to the city at large. Now we enter a brief period of downtime, so has Max ever sustained this much injury before?
No.
Um,
So we could need to find like a doctor that asks no questions.
which in this city is possible, as long as you know who to ask and where to look.
John, any ideas?
Sorry, what was the question?
I'm not exactly human, so you know any doctors that won't really ask any questions?
Would I know?
This is the stage of world building where it's Up to you if you... Do you think John would know?
I feel like he has some
Yeah.
speedy connections.
It would make sense to me if you had some... If you knew about some people who could patch you up without asking questions.
Alright, I'm the seedy guy.
You're the paranoid one, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a guy who doesn't ask a lot of questions, but he's like 6 out of 10 on actual treatment quality. But what can you do?
Yeah.
The healthcare system, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he doesn't do it for cheap either.
No. I'm sure I can persuade him.
And with that, John can escort you to, his guy. Where on the map would you like this clinic to be?
Where's the bad part of town?
Yeah, where's Bad Guy Street?
Rude Dude Avenue.
Well, let's see. I haven't. So, I have things that are in my mind. There are things that are in. There's a few key locations, but most things are fairly open-ended. Let's see. The dock areas probably have some seedy deals that go on, but are probably more like high-end things that happen there. I'd say the closer you get to the wall, probably the sketchier things get.
Okay, how about just over here?
Yeah. That works. Let me just get onto the map there and nope, I just moved the map. There we go. Let's see. And of course didn't take the text block. What are we going to call this?
He goes by the name of Bonesaw.
Oh, you're really selling the guy, aren't you?
The Bonesaw Clinic.
Just a bit of grim humor on his part.
Okay. And like right around the edge. About there?
Sure.
And dropping it on the map layer, it's now canon. So, John, you take Max into the Bonesaw Clinic, and is that the guy's name that he gives, or is
Yeah.
that... As you walk in the door, there's currently no other patients here. It's fairly late in the evening, Um, but this is your guy. So what does this guy look like, John? Or girl? You never specified.
Well, let's just say he's a dude. He's got a surgical mask on with like just a little too much blood stains on it to be comfortable for us. But he seems quite comfortable in it. He's got those glasses where like the magnifying glass flips down, and rubber gloves.
I think I found the perfect picture.
So, you enter this clinic. This area, the sign on his door, lit up, says open, but it's the light outside is like flickering, and then you enter in, and the fluorescent lights that light the place aren't flickering, but they're like jittery, and not super comfortable to be under for a long period of time. And the doctor comes out of the back room into the waiting rooms. John in for a late visit?
Not me this time. It's this guy. I'll leave him with you, and I'll just take a bottle of painkillers and be on my way.
Okay, sounds good. What's your name? And he says, gesturing to Max.
It's Max, sir.
What ails you at this point?
He's a pirate or something.
I'm gonna take off the cop uniform and show all the burn marks over my body.
That looks pretty nasty. Come on into the it's not an operation room, it's
The back room.
yeah, back room. We'll get you patched up. And he does, as you follow him back, he does proceed to help you clean and treat the wounds. Despite his appearance, he does manage to clean, undress all the wounds fairly well. And you are no longer unstable.
Okay. And do I heal any?
Yeah, so as we continue forth, you will be considered fully healed, because now we kind of skip through to, it's going to be about a week or so after the incidents have occurred.
I assume I'm healed then too.
Yeah, anyone who's taken damage, they can mark down. They can erase those points of harm. And you guys have, over the course of the next week, you guys kind of contemplate and go over what had just occurred to you. And it's up to you guys how you deal with it and how you move forward. You obviously still have jobs that you need to keep up in order to make a living. Max and Win probably have a couple shifts together at some point. Do you guys discuss matters that had occurred at any point, or do you just pretend like it never happened?
Well, Win would definitely want to pull Max at some point just to check in that what she experienced was not a delusion.
When she found out that,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
we have to talk about that still, yeah.
So one of the shifts we have, I'm gonna pull Max to the side and just be like, Max, what happened there? Like, I know we're back to normal and everything seems fine, but like, we all did things that I wasn't expecting us to do, and I saw things I wasn't expecting. Like, are you a monster? Or what? And she's gonna be like, she's not like doing it in an accusational way. She's doing it more so in a wanting to clarify, because she gets that she has her own shit going on, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna try this. Max is going to attempt mental dominion on Win.
Oh boy.
But here's the thing, because there's actually subtext to this. Yeah. So hunters have the ability to choose whether or not they follow the order or not. And yeah, so it's up to you. But if you do what I want, so after I roll, and if I like get any holes on you, if you do what I ask of you, you get to mark experience.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. Good point.
Yeah. So we're gonna try that, because I don't think he wants to really talk about it.
Fair.
So,
What did they get?
mixed success.
So that's a hold one. So
So that
I'm
means
gonna. So I can. So that means I can give you like one command, and you can choose
Okay.
whether or not you want to follow it or not. But if you do, you get a mark experience.
So what's this
Okay.
like as you, as Wen is taking you aside and you are in a very uncomfortable situation, then you use your powers. What's it appear like, Max?
Now it's still my eyes going their weird funky redness. And so I'm gonna tell her, like, I think you hit your head. I have no idea what you're talking about.
wow.
Completely
Full-blown
gaslighting.
I'm going to accept that and mark experience. And accept the fact that I just hit my head and I'm not sure what happened with what I saw with him. But I still 100% believe that the experience at the Science Center was real.
Yeah.
I think it's just the part pertaining to Max is where I saw him in his monster form.
Yeah. you still remember everything else that happened, and you still like have the journal from the scientists, like
Yes.
so
Which I am totally studying on downtime.
So we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
But yeah, as Max's eyes shimmer, the shimmer is reflected within your eyes, and you get to mark experience, and I believe
to level up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Since it's the start.
That's what I was like. Heck yes, I'll take your command and gain experience.
Yeah, since it's the start of the session, and you can go if you know what you want to take for that level up, you can do that.
Yeah.
I
think that's what I want.
Let me just open.
Wait. I gotta check something here. But we're good. I'll figure that out.
Yeah, I like to just be aware. So if you want to keep it on the lowdown, on the low key, then you can message me what you take.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna add +1 cool to my character for now.
+1 cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Nothing fancy.
After that experience, you're like...
Just want to be more cool.
Like, you're just able to keep yourself together a lot more after dealing with all that.
Yeah, exactly. I became more grounded, if anything.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So we'll keep going with you then for actually, we'll get to the journal in a moment. John, is anything that you'd like to do or look into during this brief period?
Oh yeah, I wanna read all the files I got, and I want to see about decrypting that hard drive.
Okay. So.
And I want to keep an eye on the news for any information about the facility or the people involved.
So, you had spent a point of luck not last session, but a few sessions ago, and I needed to figure out with other conspiracies that the current situation connects to. As you were dealing with the director of the science center. Dealing with the director.
Yeah, no. Dealt with her.
So a conspiracy that it connects to is that there was, and some of the files that you had gleamed through from old records from there, you are aware that there was a director before her who had signed off on some of the files, but the conspiracy is that she had vanished shortly after the surge. And nobody knows what actually became of her. The former director's name was Uh, Dr. Atsuko, uh, Popoof?
Dr. Popoof.
Popov.
Both?
Popov? Popov? I will have to look up how to pronounce that. But yeah, shortly after the surge, they had disappeared without a trace. And this new director then came in to fill in their spot. As for the hard drive, I guess it's easy enough for John to find somebody who can even just get you access onto the hard drive, so you can look through it yourself.
Yep.
And the on the hard drive itself, there was that the shipment of the worms had been a request from, let me just bring up the thing here so don't say the wrong name. The worms had been a shipment request from Dr. Kelly Morrison after they had been discovered, and were being looked at by another research facility outside of the city. Dr. Morrison had actually been the one to arrange for their shipment over to this lab, and she was keeping all the information about them to, like, on her personal, not personal, but in her office space. Oh, cat.
Cat.
The best.
And I can get you probably more information later. But that's sort of a bit of what you're gathering as you're sifting through the hard drive.
Dr. Morrison was the director, right?
No.
Dr. Morrison was the good one?
Nope. There was the other one. There was 3.
3?
Yeah. Dr. Morrison was the one that you put to sleep in the corner. Let me just... fingerprint was not registered on my tablet. Yes. Dr. Morrison was the one that you had put to sleep in the corner. Dr. Francis Ferreira was the good one that Hal was trying to make contact with. And Chris Larson was the museum administrator.
Okay. Does the file say where the worms came from or who provided them?
So the file states that they were sent to you via Titan shipping. And they were from they would have been from a lab. Probably they would have been from a lab overseas. So very difficult to actually get here. So you get that this was it was not an easy endeavor to get them here, and there's not a huge paper trail that they were leaving behind. They're trying to get it seems like they were trying to avoid a lot of legal channels.
Sounds about right.
Because you're able to sift through this because there's no actual record of the worms themselves, but you find dates for when the doctor had put in the requests for things, when certain shipments were received, and also when certain lab equipment that was being used for the worms had arrived and was set up. And when certain and also some contacts between Chris Larson's and the other lab that line up to give you an idea of when all this, the time period line of when all this had gone down.
I'm able to glean at all why specifically they wanted the worms? Like what purpose they had?
From the hard drive that you have, it looks like Chris Larson's didn't know what the purpose of them was, but they were just requested by I really just need to keep this page open. They were requested by Dr. Kelly Morrison, who you could probably tell that Dr. Kelly Morrison had actually been there longer than Chris Larson. so kind of had just, even though they weren't the director, they had like seniority. So Chris didn't actually know what the purpose for the worms was.
Interesting.
And as you are digging through that information and putting things together, we'll cut over to Win. You said you had wanted to look at the journal at some point?
Yeah, because I'm still trying to figure out, kind of process what happened there.
So, as you take the journal you had found, looking through the pages at your, I'm guessing you're doing this at wherever you live, your apartment, or
yeah, so after a long day at work, I decided to go home and I have like this like cider stuff I save for like a nice evening, and I'm sitting there on the couch just kind of flipping through the journal, sipping on the cider.
That sounds like a good evening, to be honest.
It's honestly, it's actually like her vibe. She's had a very long week, you know, she still feels the residual pain from those burns. So
yeah, you'd still be a little stiff. And where on the map would you say that Win lives, since we're filling out bits of this?
I would say she has to be within like a decent distance to the coffee shop. I would say she lives like over in this area here.
Okay.
And she has like a little apartment.
That's not what I want to.
I'm pretty sure it's above like a shop of some sort. I'm pretty sure it's in my backstory, actually, if I quickly check. I think I would have written any of this down, you know?
What? Writing down notes and stuff?
Right? Oh well, is what it is. Anyways, yeah, so she lives over there. It's pretty chill. She lives on her own. Yeah, perfect.
There we go. Can I just group these together? Ah, yes, I can. There's a group option. So whereabouts did you want this?
I would just say like right here.
Like here? Is that where you pinged?
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. So I'm at my apartment right now. I'm living my best life. I'm flipping through the journal. I am avoiding seeing the ghosts because I've been taking my medication since I got a refill. So I'm feeling pretty good for what it is.
And as you flip through it, you notice the first thing you would pick up on this journal is that it is old.
Sweet. I love antique stuff.
You're guessing that this was not Dr. Morson's journal, but rather one that she had acquired.
Okay.
And as you flip through it, it's actually not written in English. It's written in a very old language that I feel like you probably couldn't identify.
Fair. But what she can do is she can use her powers to identify.
There is one page of it that is translated, though.
I'll take that page to start.
My screen keeps going to sleep. And on this page, it actually has a sketched image of an interpretation that you would assume is the worms that you were facing.
Cool.
And on the title, on the top of the page, scratched in with pen it says the death worm.
That's pretty metal.
The death worm.
When she reads that, she's gonna note the fact that that's a pretty metal name, and she's gonna add it to her list of metal band names in case she ever creates a band.
And it gives the translation as it continues to translate. It gives us a description of what the worm looks like, and what sort of attributes it has. The rough translation says acidic venom, bioelectric shocks, and it says the word, it looks like it directly translated to destroyed, but then that's in parentheses she wrote dissolves in water. And then it just gives just more detail about the worm itself, that it feeds on organic matter. It will then eat and then nest and grow, and then searches out for other worms to mate with, and then lay a clutch of eggs and spread. The plague of worms, essentially.
Cool. So I guess when seeing all this information is just processing the fact that it makes sense, everything that happened. She already knew a lot of that info from experiencing the worms, but this just kind of validates the experience and the fact that they are something that existed. She's questioning why the Science Center had something like that in their possession. And she wants to decipher the rest of the pages in the book at some point. Is there anything of info that she needs to know in this journal? Is there something I can do to... Can I, get a spirit to be summoned? To, potentially have more info? Or are we leaving it at that?
Let me just take a quick look through your abilities.
I'm thinking of the site. I could ask a spirit. because they give you more opportunities to spot clues when you investigate a mystery. So.
So, this book is going to be something that will probably be something that you learn more. It's going to take time to fully get all the information about it.
Yeah.
But we can use the site to investigate a mystery to see if you can glean something right now from it.
Okay. So, if I
As
hit
you
the roll on the site,
open yourself up to the spirits and the energy around you.
Yeah. I basically, alcohol numbs the effects of the medication that prevent the sight, so I just like pick up the rest of my cider and down it, because if I'm sipping on it and just getting like lightly buzzed, it doesn't really do much. But if I get tipsy, then they start to come out again. So Wynn's gonna, like, knowing she needs to talk to the spirits, she's gonna pick up her cider, sigh, and then just start like downing the drink, because her curiosity is making her move forward.
So you can probably click on the dice next to the site.
Yeah. I'm just checking something quick. Okay.
That's how that works. Mixed success. So,
So
just pull up the. Mystery. So hold one. So, you can ask one of the questions from the investigate a mystery. And if none of those are exactly how you want to word it, you could also ask a somewhat more general question and I might be able to answer.
Yeah, so I guess my question is going to be the generic, what is being concealed here? Because, like, I don't know the language, so me asking the spirits of what is being concealed is like, what is the information in this journal generically? So, like, what's the theme of the book is really what I want to know.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, as you sort of close your eyes and let yourself succumb to the spirits, you feel a breeze pass around you as you sit in your apartment. And the wind flips the pages of the book. And each time, each flips through pages and then it will land on a page and there will be another illustration similar to what you saw of the worms, but it's of a different creature. It has a different form. One looks like a similar to the spirits that you commune with, flips through more. Another one looks like a um, a woman whose the features are all sunken in, and a almost skeletal face as she holds a a a candle in her hand, reaching out. Flips through a little more, and it's a humanoid with spider-like features. Flips through more and more and more, and you get the sense that this has details about many different creatures and anomalies that exist within the world. You see hybrids of humanoid creatures, some with lichen-like features, some with horns and butterfly wings. Flips through more, and you see images of pentagrams and stuff. And you get the sense that this is like a catalog or something akin to that of different creatures and anomalies. And a strong sense of danger comes from all of them.
Sweet. Wynn's gonna definitely hold on to this journal tightly, and she wants to learn more from it as she goes. It's not something she's gonna think about now, but in the future, when there's an opportunity to go to the library, she's gonna try to do that next on her free time. But the journal definitely has shown to be more value for her. She's glad she stole it.
Okay. Max, was there anything specific that you'd like to do in your downtime?
Go back to my place and get a change of clothes.
That is fair. So where does Max live, since we're filling out the map here?
Well, it's probably going to be within walking distance of coffee shop because he doesn't drive. So let's say right here, this area.
So that's like so this sort of area is kind of like this sort of area is one of the places I do have, and is like the financial sort of district. You can still live here. That's just what.
This area?
Yeah, that's sort of getting into like the ports and stuff. So little less, little more low key area, but still not within the shady bits of town.
Okay, I'm guessing this is residential here.
What?
Okay, so what about here then?
Yeah, that's also a good location.
Right.
And like, I'm
Let's
not
say there's a parking place here.
I'm not turning down any place. I'm just letting you know like what sort of areas these sort of places are. But yeah. Let me just pull. Copy. Paste. None of that went in the right order. Yes. Ungroup. Front. So group. So right about there. I'll fix the arrow here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay. Group. And onto the map layer you go. So you get yourself cleaned up after you get your wounds taken care of. Figuring out how you continue with your days. There doesn't have to be anything specific if you don't want, if there's nothing you have on your mind for the downtime. Just let me know if there is anything that you want to take care of.
Nothing particular for me.
Okay. As the week progresses, John, you're going through your regular routine between research, digging through the hard drive, going to work, at your job that I don't think you disclosed to anyone.
No one asked.
And honestly, I think it's hilarious if we just never know. Unless you want to tell, but
No, I'm good. Does any like news come up, like just public news about the whatever happened at the lab, or anyone who maybe turned up not alive?
What pray-tell could you be meaning of? Paying attention to that. You hear that after the incidents at the science lab, there um, the director, Chris Larkins, from the sources that the public channels that you pay attention to, say that Dr. Chris Larsons has stepped down and has left the city. And that the investigation is still being looked into. Rumors from unofficial sources that you hear, you people whisper, say that as you dig into it, the people say that the surveillance footage was heavily corrupted during the time of the investigation. And you also catch wind that the investigation was essentially taken over by Polaris Industries. And is now under their jurisdiction. And that's sort of what you catch wind about that incident. And as the week progresses, you have at some point stumble across some information about a disturbingly deformed corpse that's discovered. And you go to dig into that a little bit, out of concern for who it might be. You realize that the you go to get some information, and you get in contact with somebody who either has seen the corpse or says they know somebody who had seen it. And the information you get is that it wasn't deformed by this way you were assuming, by acid burns and electric shock, but rather odd protrusions and mutations from the body that made it seem almost inhuman. At a similar point during the week, when you're asleep, and while sleeping you hear a voice come into your dreams.
Sweet.
Unfamiliar, and it says, you have been touched by fate. And you see brief flashes of the journal. The worms appear in your head again, and then you see flashes of Max, John, and Hal appearing in your head, and you also hear the voice again. Their destinies are now tied to yours. And is now a good time to take a break?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we normally go till 3 or so that seems like a good point to pause for a moment. And we'll pick up here with the kickoff of the next mystery. Be right back. There's my mic. And we're back. So when we just left off, John, you had been investigating into some reports of deformed corpse that had been found. And when you've had a interesting dream. So.
Well, I'm processing that dream. Obviously, I'm annoyed at the world for making me have prophecies when I'm trying to avoid all of that baloney. But it's fine.
And I changed my clothes.
All very significant and important, equally important events. But let me set the scene that we currently find ourselves in. We cut to a late shift where Max and Wynn are closing up the shop, the coffee shop, and heading back to their respective apartments. Both of you are walking down the street, and as you the sun is set by this point. The air is cool, but it's not yet. The weather's still fairly warm in general. And as you guys pass by the public gardens on your way back to your apartments, I'm just gonna zoom in here a little bit.
Make Perception check.
Right.
As you pass by the public gardens on your way back to your apartments, you hear a scream coming from inside the gardens.
Oh goodness. Does the scream sound close? What kind of scream does it sound like?
It sounds like a female voice. A very panicked scream. And I can't replicate it because I live in an apartment complex. So
That's okay.
But a high-pitched, panicked scream comes from inside the public gardens.
Well, I want to go and see what the source of the scream is.
So, when you head into the gardens, Max, do you follow with her?
I was gonna say, before I do, I turn to Max though and go, do you want to come with me into the gardens? I don't really want to go alone, but I feel like we should go see what's going on there.
So Max is just gonna like roll his eyes and just like, okay, let's go. You're taking point.
Yeah, I'll go first. So I'm going to like be like heading in, kind of like keeping an eye on my senses around me, and head towards the scream.
So you guys make your way into the public garden.
Can I pause for a sec?
Yeah.
I have hunches as a thing.
Right.
Is there anything we can do where it's like where something bad is happening or just about to happen?
Thank you for reminding
the
me.
Scream is like the scream is the indication.
Right. So I'm like, can I use that? Is there something we can do? Like.
Just thank you for reminding me because it's hard to keep track of everyone's abilities.
No, that's okay.
Somewhere that you.
I'm not sure if it's applicable for this, but I thought I would just throw it out there.
No, I like this. This will give us a good precedent to figure out.
Or bad.
I mean, it's good for me.
Yeah. Okay, you'd like me to roll my hunch?
Yep.
Okay, so Wynn's gonna like, she feels that like, you know, the tingle in her spine, the like, you know, that like little thing in the anime where it does a little like lightning strike, like kind of thing. Like, that's what's happening. She's having a hunch.
You feel almost as if you're being tugged towards the garden.
So I got an 8, so mixed success.
Okay, so 7 to 9, you get there. Okay. So, as you run into the public gardens, you make your way through the trees and you come across as you get to the fountain in there you can see there's a woman uh, who's like fallen over on the ground, um, and she's clutching her neck as she's trying to back away from a hooded figure, who's like flinched back, and like as if he had just been struck. Um, um, and at this point, we will cut across to the other side of the gardens where John, this had been the site where the mutated body was found. You were currently investigating the area whenever you heard a scream coming from the other end of the park.
I will approach cautiously.
As you approach cautiously, you also you come across the same scene. Woman backing away, cloaked figure standing over them. What do you guys do?
Do I see Win and Max?
I'd say probably you would, yeah. So, how do you guys react in this situation? There's a decent amount of distance. I don't have a map made up for this particular encounter, but there's distance between you guys and the cloaked figure, hooded figure.
How much space is between the hooded figure and the woman?
She managed to back up, probably like roughly 10 to 15 feet away from them, before she stumbled over.
Alright, I would like to put myself between the two of them, and then... Oh, actually, before I do that, is it just us here? Are there any other people around?
As far as you can tell, you don't see anyone else around. It's kind of late evening. Or I said sun was just set, but like it's it doesn't seem to like there's anyone else really around at this point.
Okay. So if I'm relatively comfortable with that, I'm gonna go in between them, and I'm gonna pull out my gun and I'm gonna point it at the hooded dude. Like, hey there, buddy. What you doing?
Yeah, my gun's also pulled out, and I'm kind of like just behind.
You have a gun too? Nice.
Everyone just pulls out the gun.
I have a 9mm, and I'm going to have it pulled out and just ready. I don't use it often, but it's there.
Well, I guess if both of you guys are pulling out your guns, I'll pull mine out too.
And everyone has a gun, and everyone just pulls their arms immediately.
Isn't it like a weird version of a Mexican standoff?
Oh God.
I'll try to get up sort of behind where the cloaked guy is and not announce my presence.
Okay.
I want to go help the woman, or go and investigate that more.
Okay. Let me just quickly read. Because protect someone is actually a move, but I just want to see if that does count for here. Okay, so you're getting ready in case you need to protect someone. So not requiring a roll as of yet, but maybe soon to be. So you guys get between the woman and this hooded figure. John, you're off to the side. Everyone has a firearm drawn. Because apparently there's guns aplenty here.
Hey, post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah. Like, everyone can probably acquire a firearm at some point. Ammo might be tricky to get, like, to keep up to date on, but acquiring a firearm is possible.
I've got my sources.
Yeah. Does Max know how to use a firearm, though? That's my question, because he just acquired this. Or is it just more of an intimidation tactic right now?
I would think he would at least be able to pick up on the whole point and shoot aspect of it. But maybe not.
Would he like know how to turn the safety off and stuff like that?
I'm gonna go definitely not. Definitely not know how to do that.
Okay, so the safety's on Max's gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Noted.
Because there's a whole thing between safety, reload, and actually cocking the gun, so...
We're gonna have fun with this.
So... You guys take your positions. The hooded figure looks around at the fact that there's 3 people around it now, but it seems skitterish and jittery when its movements, like me after drinking 4 cups of coffee. And it... Max, you're the one who's standing directly in front of it and made yourself apparent, so... it's going to lunge after you.
Wonderful.
How do you react to it coming forward?
I guess I'm going to attempt to fire the gun.
Okay. So yeah, this would probably be the a kick some ass roll. And I think I know what a failure will mean. Safety. So let's see if you know to turn the safety off.
And I get to use weird for this.
Oh, damn.
Oh, damn. Hey!
A 4 and a 6.
Yeah, plus a 3 for weird. I get to use weird for my kick and ass.
So,
Nice.
this thing lunges at you, and like teeth. You can now that you as it's coming towards you, you can see that its teeth are sharp and it has claws that almost protrude from its fingers unnaturally.
Okay.
You don't know if it's the low light of the um, the sun that's just set, but its eyes look black as this what initially looked humanoid thing jumps out at you. Um, so, what do you choose for your for the your kick some ass um advance?
The bonus thing. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
So,
I'm gonna suffer one less harm,
okay.
and I'm assuming since I rolled so well, it's like let's just say that the gun doesn't go off, and in that time I decide to pistol whip him instead.
You so yeah, what happens, you go to it lunges at you and you go to fire and realize that the trigger won't pull, so you reach your hand back and like it almost becomes like uh surrounded in fire for a brief moment as you smack um the butt of the pistol against this creature's head, and its claws just managed, and as you whip it, its claws just managed to graze across your shoulder. Let me just. So, you would have taken. So you would have taken 3 harm. It's reduced to 2 because of the advanced attacks, and reduced again because of your armor.
Yeah.
So
my immortality.
Yeah.
Yeah. So only 1 damage.
Yeah. As you get clawed off, but you're now like you are now used to taking some hits. This is nothing compared to those worms.
No, not at all. The
The
himbo tank whips.
But I do have to just look up one more thing.
Would it take the full 2 damage the gun does? Even though
Yes.
pistol whip it? Okay.
It takes the 2 harm here, and so let me just mark that down. Yeah, even though you didn't shoot it, I'll still say that the pistol whip is the same damage because I don't want to do more math. But give me 1 second. Okay, it's only on a bite. Never mind. Okay. I said claws, so we're sticking with that. Win and John, what are you two do as this scuffle occurs?
Well, if we're evidently not going loud quite just yet, I guess John will give Max the benefit of the doubt and assume that the not shooting the gun was intentional.
Yes, he meant to do that.
I'll quickly stow my gun and move into attack with my garrote.
Okay.
Kind of get it from behind around the neck.
Okay. So, yeah, this would... I feel like this would also classify as the kick some ass. I don't see it counting as another move. So, go ahead and roll 2.
Regular success.
Okay, so you still get to choose an added effect. So what happens, how do you do this? What added effect comes with this? So you can take or give one forward, inflict terrible harm, suffer 1 less harm, or force them where you want them.
I, attacking from behind, go out around the neck. I'm gonna force it face down onto the ground with me on its back.
Okay. So, you don't have armor, correct?
No.
So, as you force it onto the ground, you grab it behind, and it just manages to reach behind and just claw at you across your face before it gets shoved into the ground, which is 3 harm. But now you have it pinned to the ground, and it's can't manage to get at you, but the creature's just...
And don't forget, it takes 3 harm from me.
Yeah, so I was going to ask how much harm that was. Yeah. The growth is 3 harm?
Yeah.
Dang.
The drawback is its intimate range.
Yeah, which is thus why the claws where it would get at you. But since you came from behind, it didn't get to bite you.
Mm-hmm.
And as you hear it screaming, like, it has like a human, it sounds human, but like its voice is very raspy. And as you look at it, you can see that its hands are longer than normal and have the claws are almost bone-like protrusions. And its voice is incredibly raspy, and it's almost sounds to be getting words out, but they don't seem to be clear.
That probably doesn't help that it's being choked by a wire.
Yeah, that too. Win. What are you up to at this moment?
So I've moved myself closer to the girl or woman who was there because I want to keep tabs on her, but also protect her. I want to use magic to help trap the cloaked person monster thing. So I was gonna pull out my family heirloom book thing to manifest some magical energy and see if I could use magic to trap the monster so John doesn't have to be holding on to it.
Okay, so I use magic.
Yeah.
Mixed success. Use magic.
So it says I get to choose the effect and the glitch.
5 and a 1.
Yeah.
Choose your effect and a glitch. The keeper will decide what effect the glitch has. Also for just for the requirements of the binding spell, I feel like like for most of your spells, I feel like the tome is one of the components that you would basically almost always need. If that feels right with you.
Yeah, like I need some sort of like talisman or magical thing to channel the magic, basically.
Yeah.
So that's why I pulled out the family book. I still had the gun in my other hand. I want to point that out. I'm multitasking this shit.
Yeah, I feel like most of your spells would either... So the tome is always needed, basically, and then it's usually either ritual chanting and gestures or drawing arcane symbols.
Okay.
Binding is probably the chanting and and gestures.
Okay.
Essentially,
so that's what Wynn's gonna do.
Essentially, verbal and somatic components. Because we're all D&D nerds here. But what is the glitch that you choose?
It's of short duration.
Okay. As Wynn busts open the giant tome that she always carries with her, she starts to speak in I feel like it's a different language that you speak in.
Yeah, it's like Latin or something.
Yeah. She starts speaking some arcane language that John, you probably don't pick up anything from. Max, you might actually pick up some of the words being spoken, but probably not.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
I feel like you'd pick up on some of the words being spoken, but you won't get everything.
And those words would be what?
Great questions. 1 second here.
Yeah, because knowledge be power.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
You can.
Alligatio. You're gonna recognize that word.
Alligatio.
Yeah.
And spelling that as Aligatio.
Monstrum. So 1 second. Monstrum and alligato. It's Alligato or something like that. Just 1 second here. 1 second here. Latin. It's Alligatio.
Okay.
In Latin.
Monstrum.
And then monstrous.
Monstrous. Good.
Vocare. Vocare.
Okay.
And one last one would be captionem.
Okay.
And that's what you understand. And I'm basically just saying those words again and again and like repeating it. And it gets faster
you're
and
saying
faster.
those words.
I'm saying those words. It's my spell.
Okay, sorry. I thought the thing that you're trying to do it on was saying words. Sorry, I misunderstood that.
No, it's all good. I'm doing a spell thing, trying to trap the monster.
Yeah, so, and as you speak these words, the wind picks up and swirls around you. And your eyes kind of shift, like become brighter, or dark, or probably darker actually. As you reach out and you almost can hear whispers on the wind, voices, and you see it swirl around and actually start to and then you see this creature's joints start to tense as its muscles start to seize, and it's stuck there on the ground now for a brief moment. Max, what do you do at this moment?
So it can't move, right?
At the moment, it seems bound.
Okay, so I'm gonna just walk up to it, and I'm going to push its hood off.
Okay.
It's like Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
What I got away with the two word for you meddling kids?
It was Old Man Johnson.
Let me see. Do I have a token for this right now? Give me 1 second to switch screens here. I need to grab something. To have a name plate.
I mean, you can if you want.
Yeah, that works. Don't know how big this is going to appear. There we go.
Oh, it's big.
So, you pull.
Very big.
You pull the hood off, and you see the eyes glazed over white, and the teeth have become almost fang-like, and you can see its jaw has almost gone. Its jaw's like unnaturally squarish, and it has almost mandibles protruding from its upper and lower lips that doesn't show in this artwork, but and it's hissing and snapping at you. The woman on the ground screams when she sees this, and starts to like back away even further.
Can I do something about that?
Yeah.
Hit her on the head and knock her out.
I wasn't gonna be that mean. I was gonna charm her. Manipulate someone.
What do you do to try?
So manipulating someone, I was gonna manipulate her to tell her that it's okay and to not react to what's going on around us right now.
So are you just trying to connect human person to person, or are you using any special abilities for this?
No, just person to person.
Which,
You can use my awesome people skills that I have that don't exist.
I mean, is it under cool, which you just upgraded?
Say again.
Oh no, it's charm. No.
No, it's charm.
Okay, yeah. As you talk to her, you
Oh. She does not believe you at all.
Nope. That failed. She's probably afraid of me now. She's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's a 2 and a 1. I was about to narrate something,
Pretty good experience, though.
So, yeah, you try and you kneel down and try to communicate, try to talk to her, just say everything's going to be fine, but your eyes are still like dark shadows as this spell it was cast, and like there's just an unnerving aura around you, and this woman on the ground just screams even more and like pushes you away and gets up and starts to run away.
I don't care if she knows stuff. She can go if she wants, I guess.
Yeah, you do notice that she had been, like, there was a lot of blood around her neck. It looked like she might have been bit by this creature. As she's
gonna turn.
Oh, I care a little more then.
To get up and run away.
Can I pistol whip her?
It's okay, you'll be fine. Just go to sleep. I mean, you can if you want. That's up to you.
Yeah, like I'm just picturing you being this consoling person when she doesn't do it. You just whack her over the head with a gun.
Yeah, like annoyed, and I'm like, and then just like whip her. Yeah.
Are you being serious at wanting to do this? Or?
Am I the only person that's close enough to have to make this decision, or is there someone else nearby that could possibly stop her?
But like, here's the thing: like, all I've done so far is take the hood off and heard the scream. So at the same time, I could turn around and use my mental dominion on her to try and shut her up.
Okay, so Wynn's gonna be like frantic because she's tried to do this, so she's gonna turn to Max and be like, "Max, help!" And like desperation, with her pistol in her hand, ready for action.
Okay, so now I have to word this properly because still under. So I'm gonna go up to the woman, kneel down, and look at her, and and I'm gonna make sure that that Wayne can't see me, can't see my face when I'm doing this.
Yeah, and let me know what you're saying before you roll, so we know how things work out.
Oh,
Oh wait, it will determine whether
yeah,
you get 1 or 2. Yeah.
yeah. So I have to roll first and then say my thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Did I get anything? No. No. Oh, this is really bad.
That's a 2 and a 2.
Yeah. I didn't even get
Wow.
1. I didn't even get the bare minimum.
We tried, guys.
So,
Yeah.
That's classified as a manipulate someone, correct? Or is it? Is that what's stated as?
Can we both pistol whip her?
Okay. It doesn't say on a failure, but I guess I'll essentially treat it as the same as a manipulate someone, whereas on a fail, offend or anger sort of scenario.
So you're talking about like my mental dominion if it fails?
Yeah, it's. I'm thinking like you try to do something obviously supernatural, and the person's just like even more. Yeah. So you try to like persuade her into calming down and anything, but she sees your eyes glimmer and sees the shadows around Wynn's eyes, and she just completely screams and starts.
And faints.
What?
And faints. And faints.
No, she takes off running. And it's John, you notice at this point is when the binding of the spell is starting to break. On this creature. What do you do? John?
Get my.
Oh, me.
I get. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So if I take my gun and just like shoot it in the back of the head or something, is that still just going to be like 2 harm, or is that just killing it? Because like I feel like the 2 harm is like taking into account like, you know, grazing shots and all, you know, stuff like that. Like if it's just here on the ground, I don't see how shooting it does less damage than choking it with a wire.
That is very fair. So let's have you roll to kick some ass, because it's starting. You can feel as you go to execution shot, it's struggling against your grip. So let's go to roll kick some ass. I'll say because of the binding, you can have +1 forward to this.
Okay. Okay, baby needs a new pair of shoes.
Hey. There it is.
So,
We needed that.
what effect do you choose?
I inflict terrible harm.
Okay. So, what happens here? You have it down, and you can feel that it's starting to move again. Its muscles starting to relax. Not relax, but like it's starting to be able to gain control of its limbs. You take your gun, you hold it to its head, and then as you fire, as right before you fire, it spins around and unnaturally head whips around, and it clamps its jaws onto your arm that's holding you as you fire right into it. And its body just seizes and then goes limp.
Okay. What's the damage on my bite there?
As it's the bit down on you, I need you to roll plus tough.
Ew.
That's a failure.
Ew.
American experience.
It's gonna happen.
So, as you pull back from it and just give me 1 second. So,
Just knowing you guys.
as you pull back from the creature and confirm that it's no longer moving, you look down at where it bit you, and you can see that the skin has started to go dark into like a gray, almost a gray color. You can still move it and stuff, but the hairs have become thicker, almost not quite, but almost needle-like. The hairs on your arm have become. And you're starting to there's already similar protrusions coming from your fingers. That's as far as it seems to have gone. You don't notice it as you look at it for a moment. It seems like that's... Oh wait, there was more. Itchy. The arm is itchy, and you also feel almost feverish, as well as headache and nausea. But you're still able to keep yourself together. You're just in great discomfort.
Was there any harm from the bite?
There wasn't any harm.
Okay. So technically I'm not unstable.
No. You're not unstable, but and it doesn't... It looks like those effects were fairly immediate, and they don't seem to be currently spreading much further. But it doesn't look good.
No.
Or feel good.
You need to amputate?
Well, that was my first thought. Can I obtain some sort of blood sample from the body?
Yes, you can.
Even just like dripping some blood into like an old water bottle or something like that.
Yeah. I'd say you'd probably be prepared for something along those lines. As you can get some samples of this body, to try and assess what you're dealing with here. How do you guys proceed? The woman is running away. Was there something that Wynn or Max were going to do, or are you just letting her go?
I think she's gone at this point.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we tried.
Yeah. Kind of hoping that she would scream so loudly she would make herself faint. It'd probably take care of itself, but no.
Right.
Would that be too easy?
I know.
In light of the screams and gunshot, I suggest we don't stick around here.
Oh, my apartment's the closest, so I will invite everyone over and we can figure out what the hell's going on.
Party at Max's.
Let me just see one thing. Just want to see what's classified under investigate a mystery. Because so as you can, I'll let you decide what you want to do, John. If you want to try and investigate a mystery here, to see what you can ascertain, or you could take your take a few samples and.
I'll just take the samples for now and
Okay.
investigate later.
Okay. You gather some few samples that you think will help you figure out what the heck's going on. And you guys take off to Max's apartment.
Is there a pharmacy along the way, by any chance?
Sun is set. Which puts it. If we're in the summertime, then it's probably late in the evening, so I feel like most pharmacies would be closed unless you
I'm pretty sure Shoppers is open until 9 o'clock.
Right. Midnight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you have the full I got a guy ability.
No.
So Probably no pharmacy really open along the way, but you'll be able to bandage yourself up a little bit once you get back to into once you have a moment to gather yourselves.
Okay. I'm interested in antiviral medication.
Noted. So, you guys make your way to Max's apartment. And Max, what does your apartment look like? Paint us a picture.
So before we go into the apartment, gonna lay down some ground rules. You don't go into my room. You don't touch the mirror with the blanket over it.
Okay.
All right.
That's fair rules. Thank you for the heads up. I totally would have done both of those things first.
Immediately. Invited to someone's apartment, you immediately scope out the bedroom, check out the mirrors.
Yeah, basically. You always test the mattresses in every new place you visit.
All right. So we walk in. It's gonna be like a one-bedroom apartment that has like almost like a full kitchen off to the side and an open living room area at the very end with windows facing out towards. The view goes out this way, so if you're looking towards the water itself.
What floor do you live on?
We'll say the 8th floor.
So decently high up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And is this just for my curiosity, is this a legal residence or is it more of a claimed space?
Oh no, it's legal. It's like an upscale apartment.
Okay.
And actually, like, let's say I live higher up so you can actually see the water.
Oh,
fancy.
Affording everything off of a waiter wage here. I love it.
Yeah, waiter and coffee. The tips are great.
Oh, for sure. I forgot that you manipulate everyone to give you good tips.
What are you talking about? I have a charming personality. People love me.
Oh, yes. And I still think you're human at this point, so.
Yeah, so we'll say I'm up on, like, what, the 17th floor. The floor high enough that you can see.
Yeah.
I want you to see.
And undescribed height of floor that lets you get a good view of the water.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry?
I was gonna say when she goes into the apartment, she goes straight to the bookshelf if there is one.
Do you have a bookshelf, Max?
Sure, why not?
Sweet. She's gonna just check out the books. I feel like you can really learn someone with what books they have. So.
Do you have an idea of what sort of books Max would have on his shelf?
We're gonna say language books.
Okay.
Language books. What else would be there? I guess like how to cook. Just like books on like basic life skills.
How to be human.
Yes, How to Be Human for Dummies. Volumes 1 through 8.
Is there a language book there that would recognize the same language as the journal I have at home?
Ooh.
Asking.
Would Max?
I would say that the books that I have like physically out in the open would just be like for like English and stuff like that.
Yeah, modern languages.
Yeah, modern languages. If I did have anything, it wouldn't be out here.
Okay.
No Latin or Sanskrit?
Huh? No.
No. Yeah.
Maybe not out here. Okay, so we all come in then.
Yeah. You guys can all go into Max's luxurious apartment that um
He pays for it legally
Hmm.
with honest earned money.
And you guys are able to take a moment to patch up your wounds.
Yeah. You got any bandages or?
Yeah, I gotta go into my bathroom in my room and rate everything to see if I have anything.
How about some vodka?
Bottom shelf in the kitchen.
Okay.
When I hear vodka, I like my ears perk and I turn from the shelf to follow.
You know, for your injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I assume that's what John needs it for. I need it for my mental clarity here.
Yeah, vodka heals the soul. I'm gonna come out of my room then with like a basic first aid kit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take some bandages or like some cotton patches or whatever. Gonna do some of the alcohol into those, and then I'm gonna take a swig, a big old swig.
You know,
and then I'm gonna set about patching myself up for internal injuries.
To thin your blood out so you bleed more.
Exactly.
To kill the virus that's probably in my blood.
If you drink enough alcohol, like eventually, either you or the virus will die.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. One more book that's on the shelf. It'll be books about technology for dummies.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn to Max as John's cleaning up his wounds and stuff. I'm gonna reach for the vodka and like just take a quick swig. So, Max, you didn't have anyone around to help you, eh? You had to learn everything on your own. How did that feel?
It was a difficult adjustment, but I feel like I got the hang of everything pretty fast.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Good for you.
Yeah.
I get it. I kind of was in the same boat. I didn't really have anyone. I had to figure it out. So, and like my respect for Max increases because I see this.
Well.
So, it was like 5 + 5 charisma points or something.
Yeah, you guys go to tending your wounds, so you can each mark off 1 harm per injury sustained, if you have any.
1 per injury. Does that include the bite that didn't do any harm? Or?
It didn't do any harm, so there's nothing to clear off from that.
I will still try to clean it up.
Yeah.
But
probably a good thing to do. Okay. Actually. Okay. Just give me. I'm reading the full effects of what happened to you.
The cat.
Kitty. Oh, it's not on camera.
Nah, I saw it on Twitch, which is delayed.
Oh.
So I had a delay response to that. There. Oh, look at the little. Oh my God, I couldn't even.
It's so tiny. It's so tiny.
So tiny.
Oh my god.
You'd have to move your camera for the audience to actually see.
It's oh my god.
A little more to the. Can you turn it?
No, it's perfect. It's perfect. Oh, look at it.
Not for the audience though.
Yeah.
For the window. Oh my heart. Oh, I want one.
Yeah, to get distracted by the cat while I
12.
have to read things.
Hi, you're our little mascot. You just hang out on adventures in John's bag. Maybe on the shoulder sometime.
Oh, that's the cutest thing ever.
I can't even right now. That's almost as cute as the puppy that was brought into work the other day.
What's the kitty's name again? I was told something, but I forget.
Still a little bit of a work in progress, but Marmalade.
Oh. Oh, it's so cute.
I have no words.
Yeah.
I'm done. You've broken me with the cuteness. Marmalade.
Yeah.
Oh. I was just giving me, you know what, that really brightened my day today. Thank you for that.
Oh my god, if he like jumps up and goes into the camera on his own, that's gonna be
the cutest thing ever. Hi. I know he can't hear me, but I'm pretending.
oh. I want one.
Me too. I've been waiting for a cat to come into my life and let me adopt it.
But as you guys continue, so John, you can study, look at your wounds and try and treat them. It might be difficult with what you currently have at your disposal, but as you examine the wound, the infection, you can try and use what you have now to make a weird science roll to try and stave off the infection.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You have limited resources here, but you can attempt it.
I using what I have and my samples, I will attempt to weird science an antidote to stop the infection. What are you doing? Alright, weird science, weird science.
Mixed success, 2 and a 4. Okay. Let me bring up what the weird science.
If I recall, that means it does work, but I pick one requirement and you get to pick a second one.
And then you get to ignore the second requirement.
I get to ignore a requirement.
Let me just... I'm pretty sure that's it, but let me just double check. Yeah. So, what requirement do you choose?
I will say that it needs a rare and or weird material. Why not? Mix it up a bit.
And maybe I have such weird material in my apartment.
Maybe you do.
Um, I'll say it will require you'll need help beyond the hunters on your team to finish it.
Well, normally it would require help beyond the hunters on my team to finish it. However, the little tidbit of information I needed that none of us knew was actually in one of Max's books. And so now I no longer require the help of someone external.
That Technology for Dummies book.
You're right. How to work a smartphone.
Hey, some people
Or I
in this...
just thought to Google something. It told me how to do it.
Hey, technology is... Not everyone has access to technology in this world. Not everyone has a phone. So, as you... yeah. As you look and inspect the wound, you think you can, at its current state, you think you'll be able to treat it. You'll just need to get a hold of the right pharmaceuticals that you were hoping to get earlier.
Okay.
But you feel like you can stave off this infection once you get a hold of the right medical supplies that you need.
Okay, I will. I'll pre-concoct as much of it as I can without having those actual drugs.
Yeah.
So that hopefully, once I get them, I can just kind of mix it all up and down the hatch.
Yeah, and I'll let you know that you get the sense that if the infection fully takes hold, then it would require something more to fix.
That's fair.
But you also feel like if it did fully take hold, you wouldn't be able to fix it yourself at that point.
Do I have any sense of how fast it's progressing? Haven't taken a bit of time.
It doesn't. It seems to be reacting to your body's state of being. So it's not spreading at a steady rate. It seems to be like as your adrenaline starts kicking in, your heart starts racing, fight or flight symptoms seem to be what irritates it more. So if you feel like if you can keep yourself calm, it will spread slower. But you probably don't want to leave it for too long.
Okay, but it sounds like I could probably last overnight until the store is open.
Yeah. I feel like if there's what are the terms for read a bad situation? Because that might be a good...
Look around, read a bad situation, roll sharp. Depending on success, you get hold, and then you can spend a hold to ask keeper questions.
Okay. I'm just There are some questions in there that would relate to this if you wanted to.
Well, I can take the hint, and I will try to read a bad situation.
Try and ascertain what the effects of this will be.
Mixed success, so I get one question. Okay. So, spending a bit more time studying this infection, I want to try to approach it from every angle. You know, see if there's any kind of danger that maybe we haven't noticed with it.
So, danger you haven't noticed with it would be
Isn't 8 a mixed success though? If I were trying to help them.
Yeah, 8 would still be mixed success, so
Okay,
unfortunately wouldn't push him past. So something you might not have noticed is, or it might not have occurred to you yet until you actually like were looking at this. This was from just a single bite, and it spread to you like this quick already, which now thinking that it's quite contagious, and that remembering that that person, the victim, had also been bitten, so there's at least one other person out there who was bitten, if not possibly more, that you're unaware of. So this thing could quite quickly spread.
Indeed.
And you're unsure of how far it has already spread. So
I feel like if we can, we should probably try and go back and try to ID the guy. This dude.
Oh yeah, we should have looked for a wallet or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possibly not too late. If you wanted to go back.
Might be an idea.
Do a little bit of investigating on the person.
I don't know how long my antidote would have taken me. Maybe they could be doing that while I was working on the antidote. Or...
Is that something that Max and Win wanted to go do?
I think Max will volunteer to go himself.
Okay.
That's fine.
And then Wayne can stay back and help John with stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And snoop some more.
Yeah, with MaxCon we can see what's up with this mirror.
That's
in his room.
Just get that.
Exactly.
I'm gonna pretend I don't hear that.
Well, I don't say that in front of him.
Okay. So, John stays at Max's apartment while Win and Max head back.
No, I stay at the apartment.
Oh, right.
Too.
Well, Max heads to the gardens to investigate. Hey. I am going to I think I'm going to roll a luck check myself.
Yeah, like whether or not the body's still there and untouched.
Although it's not. Let me just roll 2d6. We'll go with the same system. Let's see. Failure means that it's definitely been noticed.
Okay.
And there's a scene happening now. Mixed success hasn't been noticed, but there's like people around the park, so you have to be stealthy about it. Full success hasn't been noticed. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Just flat 2d6. So 8. So you get to the park, and you see that there isn't people haven't wandered around the body, the fountain where all this occurred, but there is people not necessarily in the garden, but you see some people walking down the street, and there's a chance that somebody might go in, so you want to be fairly subtle with your entrance and exit and sleuthing.
Okay.
So but you managed to get to the body, and what exactly do you start looking? I'm guessing you just start inspecting the body, looking for identification or evidence of
trying to find a wallet
where they came from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything on it that might like give it away, so it could be like even like down to like if like a ring on the finger with something on it, but yeah, like maybe identification.
Okay. Let's go with investigate a mystery.
Okay. And it's with sharp, and I suck at that, so great.
Yay! You got this.
No, I don't.
You don't got this.
Ouch.
I rolled a 7, but I have a -1.
Ah.
I get experience though, so that's
Yeah, you get experience. Okay.
So what happens now?
Now, as you try and examine the body, you don't seem to notice any identification on it. you yeah, so I say you don't notice any identification on it, and as you are trying to like look for anything that might suggest where this person came from or what might have happened to them, you hear from behind you someone call out, just like, "What's going on over there? Who's there?" And there's looks like there's a uniformed officer who's approaching. They're not close to you yet, but they're walking in your direction.
Okay, okay, that's cool. Oh, thank God, officer, there's a body here. Can you help?
So the officer rushes over, and I'd say this would be probably manipulate someone.
Is it? No,
I
because
mean, he's not lying. There is.
I'm not lying. Yeah.
Okay, let's.
You're not trying to convince the police officer to do something.
Yeah.
Unreasonable.
Okay. We'll see how this plays out. So the police officer runs over, and next to you and asks, just like, "What happened here?"
Oh no, I was walking through here on my way back to my apartment, and I came across this body. I was about to call call you guys, but then he started walking up and yelling.
He here's where I wish there was a deception sort of thing, because I feel like deceiving counts as manipulating someone. But you're not requesting anything.
It could be act under pressure.
Yeah, it could be act under pressure.
Okay, yeah, that's... Yeah, let's go with that. Let's see how well you can act.
Let's see how well my acting skills are.
Success.
Pretty damn good. Oh wait, that's what's cool. Oh wait, I think cool and charm are the same thing. They're not. Yeah, okay, that's right.
Nice.
Yeah. So a 6 and a 4. Yeah. So the officer nods, and you see him reach for his radio, and clicks the button and says, "This is Richard's story. I got a body down at the public gardens."
No. Police officers use code when they're talking.
Yeah, well, I don't know what that code is. I couldn't come up with it on the spot.
We got an 847 up in this place.
We got an 847 down at
like
the Public
that.
Gardens.
I'm gonna need backup.
Requesting assistance.
Let's see. Let's Google this.
It's probably different for different places.
It probably is. A 1054.
I got a 1054 at the Public Gardens, requesting
Possible
assistance.
dead body.
And he looks at you, Max. It's like, what's your name?
It's Max, sir.
Do you have last name?
Furioso.
Okay, we may need to, ask you some questions, to figure out what exactly happened here. Are you able to stick around so we can ask you some questions, or we give us a form of contact?
Yeah, I can answer some quick questions. My home is not far away.
Okay. So he starts to just get your story for how things occurred, and just basically like asking just like what time you approximately what time did you come through here, when did you notice the body and all that. Also just asks for where they, like, how they can get hold of you if they need further questions, some basic information. I'll say that he might need you to fill out a report down at the police station. Which this takes a little bit of time, and if there's nothing you want to do during that, he'll eventually jot down everything and ask if you need anything, if you'd like to be escorted back or anything to your apartment.
I'm gonna offer their thanks. I'm only a couple blocks away. But I guess what I'm gonna try and do is let's try and mental dominion this guy.
Just the entire police force under your command.
No, well, let's see.
Or murdered.
All right. Let's do this. What do I get?
Mixed success.
Oh, I have 1 on him. Okay, what do I want to do? When you see me walk away to go back home, you are going to forget I ever existed.
So you look into his eyes, and your eyes shimmer, and you see that same shimmer reflected in his. And he like jaw goes a little slack, and he nods as you can tell that your will has taken hold. And you're confident he will forget you ever existed.
Okay. I am gonna walk back to the apartment then. And we all know Jake's gonna twist what I said somehow, so.
What? I would never look for obvious loopholes in statements that are made. As you walk back down to your apartment, unsure of where this guy has really come from, but if the police do investigate, you might be able to pick up stuff from the police report if you can get hold of that. However, that might be something we take care of next session, as we're getting 3:30, which is generally our usual cutoff. This seems like a good point. I would think, unless there's anything that we wanted to take care of right now.
I'm good.
Switch that screen. Well, if people are satisfied there, then I'd say we'll pick this up next time with trying to cure John of this infection and seeing how far it's actually spread and where it originated from. September 3rd will be hopefully the next stream, and I'll hopefully have this up on YouTube before then.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Until then, bye.
See ya.
Bye.